Welcome to the show. I'm Kathy Ireland. Turn Therapeutics is helping people around the world with its best-in-class products to heal wounds and infections. Bradley Burnham, founder and CEO of Turn Therapeutics, joins us today to share more about the company's innovations. Welcome, Bradley.
Thank you so much for having me here. Pleasure to meet you.
Well, Bradley, you shared earlier with me the story of starting the company. Can you share a little more with our viewers?
It was a personal journey. I woke up one morning in 2009, December of 2009, I can remember it like it was yesterday, and my ear was swollen, purple, terrifying. It was an infection that I had picked up in the hospital. It was actually a very unusual bug, which is why we knew it wasn't just sort of on the skin. So I called a good friend of mine, a brilliant plastic and reconstructive surgeon named Dr. Stephen Bresnick in Encino, California, and he was kind enough to open his surgery center on a Saturday. And I spent hours in there, lost a fair chunk of my ear, to be honest, had 40 to 50 stitches. The next 6 weeks of my life I was spent in his office getting, they call it packing. They were packing and pulling it out. It was horrific. Courses and courses of antibiotics. For the next 3 years, and I took a look at the charts recently, and it was about this tall, 3 different volumes of them. I had somewhere between 12 and 15 additional reconstructive surgeries because it kept coming back.
Here we have a healthy person who's having a lot of problems. And I was somewhat limited by the technologies and the standard of practice at the time. The interesting thing is, as Brad was a patient many times and ultimately did very well, he began to think and would present to me while he was on the operating room table some of the times, what if we tried this? What if we tried that? So we had a patient who was very bright, who was thinking outside the box and was experiencing what it's like to be a patient with multiple infections. And I think he came up with some ideas, and we would sometimes discuss those ideas as I was doing a procedure for him under local anesthesia. I've seen infections change a lot. We used to deal with bacteria that were sensitive to antibiotics. And certainly in the last 10 to 15 years, more and more bacteria are becoming resistant to antibiotics. We all hear about this in the media. Some of these infections can be life-threatening and cause death or significant disability. So there's certainly a very large niche for people to come up with solutions that aren't antibiotic-based. And this is where I think a lot of the advances in medicine are going to come.